Today in this video conversation, we have Anshika Garg with us. On the face of it, from her LinkedIn profile, her journey looks like a very most chalked out path in terms of BCom from Lady Shri Ram College, then management consulting, and then her own venture right now. But when I got to know the thought behind her course selection, choice of college, or even the societies or the organizations that she was part of during college was quite insightful. This made me decide to share her journey with everyone on this platform. Stay tuned till the end of this conversation where she has comprehensively shared how to go about with management consulting interview, the challenges faced in each round, and the resources that can be banked upon for its preparation. So we'll just go across your journey, starting from your course selection after school. What made you choose BCom and also BCom from Lady Shri Ram College? And there are multiple other colleges across India which are offering BCom, and they are also pretty good. They come in the top 10 commerce colleges in India.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll tell you. Um, Initially after class 10th, everyone is confused. Everyone is confused before their result is out that whether they want to go for science, commerce, or arts, whether they want to do something different. So I mean, for me, I always knew that I don't want to make a career in science. That was not my calling. I understood that. I knew that I always had a business a business bent of mind. I always think from that perspective, and maybe for certain aspects of business requires you to do very crisp calculations and stuff, and certain parts of the business requires you to be creative as well. And I realized that I am good at both. Like, if not good, I'm at least something, it's something that I'm interested in. So at least for the initial step, I was like, okay, I want to go with commerce. I wanted to pursue that in my 11th and 12th. Now obviously, after 11th and 12th, and when you have done commerce, most common options that you are left with are BCom honors and economic honors, which are like the niche in this particular field. And then post that, but then some part of you sometimes feel like very neglected. You feel that okay, something is missing, you might want to do something different. And that there was never an opportunity cost at that time, because as you grow up the ladder, maybe in corporates or something, you always have that opportunity cost of leaving your salary, or like that two-figure amount that you are earning to like double lakh figure amount that you are earning. And then you feel that okay, yaar, matlab, ab main, if I leave now, there would be a huge risk. But at that time, I didn't want that what if situation in my life ever. So I did explore options. I did go on internet. There was no honestly, from teachers there was no support, because they were also very clueless about it. They were also very like BCom honest, yeah, economic honest. So ठीक है, उसके बाद I did my own research, met with a few people who have been doing different things in their lives, who are like 6-7 years elder to me, wanted to understand their journey. I did the same thing. I talked to more people, and I understood that okay, I have to put myself out there. So as soon as I started to put myself out there, I started looking for options. I then looked for hotel management, because cooking is something that interests me. I looked for art courses as well. I looked for psychology honors, because that's something that I was interested in as a subject. And long story short, I couldn't get into psychology because of the high cutoff, and also because of lack of understanding, lack of information I required कि मेरे को 11th 12th में psychology लेना चाहिए था as a subject to be eligible for psychology in my bachelor's. And if not, then like the other colleges were not good enough for me. So then that's the reason I chose BCom honors, because anyway I had that business mindset. So I thought that I'll make something out of it.
Okay.
And then when I got LSR anyway, so I was like, yeah, this is one of the best colleges anyway. I always switch from LSR, like from BCom honors to psychology honors within my own college, which is again going to be a advantage for me. Could have gone with like other colleges. SRCC definitely I didn't get in, but let's say Hansraj, Hindu, they were also pretty good colleges, and they were co-ed colleges as well. So like that was also a thing that I didn't want to go to an all girls college. But I think it was the diversity and like the holistic development for me that LSR offered me, and I still date. I thank my stars for letting me make that decision, because I was very skeptical. But to choose between LSR or Hindu College or Hansraj or any other college, but I think it was the diversity that worked for me, because I would just wanted to put myself out there. But okay, let me explore.
You were very extensive in your research. So I wanted to understand one thing. If someone understands they want to take up psychology honors in after 12th,
So what do they need to focus on so that they get into psychology or not? Like you said, you were not qualified or
Yeah, yes, I wasn't qualified. So see, the thing was that you definitely need to look for colleges first. You need to make sure that after 10, like if you have like a clear vision in your head. Like as I said, after 10, I didn't have a clear vision. I just knew that science wasn't my calling. Arts, में ठीक है, arts wasn't available actually. That was the availability issue for me in my school. So the only option I was left with was, BCom. Bio वगैरह में I didn't had that much interest. So I was like that, okay, let me, venture out into commerce itself. But later on, as I researched, and that too in class 12th, like towards the end of class 12th, I realized that, okay, I kind of messed up. I need to, have some subjects as a part. So then I was like, it's okay, it's fine. I'll still figure out a way to get into psychology honors in LSR, because there was a course available. So yeah, that's all. I think, for me, I would suggest people out there to research about the colleges first and check out their eligibility criteria. There were a lot of colleges like, Jesus and Mary College, Aryabhatta College, who offer psychology honors, and they do not have any requirement. A friend of mine, a junior actually, she got into psychology honors in Aryabhatta College, and she also did BCom honors like me from my school itself. So that was her calling. Like I didn't want to trade off the college for course. A lot of people struggle with that decision. I wanted to opt for the college.
yeah, oh, you because you were you had a generalist approach in 11 and 12. You were like, okay, let me choose college over the course because you were not so fixated on psychology or not.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't so fixated, but she was, like I said, my junior
Right.
was. So she chose Aryabhatta, even though it's not like one of the top colleges in India, but still it's a good college, and she wanted to study psychology, and she did, and she's doing great, I feel. So I mean, that's your calling. You have to make your choice between a college and a course.
So you got into LSR. LSR is ranked continuously in the top 5 colleges, or rather, I would say top 3 also. So
Hmm.
getting good college usually requires some focus, some objective beforehand, because
Hmm.
to
Hmm.
achieve a high goal, you need to have something planned beforehand. As you're discussing,
Hmm.
to achieve something, sometime information beforehand is necessary. So, was there any specific things that you were focusing on in your 11 and 12, or how your journey in 11 and 12 was shaped up so that it was ensured that you get into good college in these?
See, listen, I would definitely want to give a very, clear answer for this question to the people who would be, viewing this video later. But, I think, there are millions of students like me who were clueless. And I would definitely want them to know that they were not the only ones. I was also the one. I also was very clueless. I didn't know I wanted to go to LSR. I never thought that I would make it to like top college in the, in India for commerce. All I focused on was myself. Never thought about, competing with my friends, with other students in my class. I just had a clear vision that I wanted to do my best. And that kind of saves you from demotivation from time to time, that okay, whenever you're scoring less in your pre-board, like you won't believe I was getting 60% in my pre-board exams in school, and from 60% to, let's say, 97% in final actual boards. I think there's a huge, there's a huge part of me that always believed in myself, and just knew that okay, something would happen at the end of the day. I just won't say that just go with the flow. No, I'm not urging anyone to do that, but I want you people, like everyone, to know that it's okay to not know everything from the start. Just focus on your goals of at least being the best of your own self, and focusing on getting the highest mark, if you wanted to have like a great college. Because obviously I just wanted, yeah, I'll score the best, I'll score the highest, and I'll get to one of the top colleges. But even if I don't get it, I knew that okay, whatever I get, I'll make the best out of it. But luckily I did get one of the best colleges, and I think that's like something that worked in your favor when you were true to yourself, when you just stayed focused. And I would say that there were a lot of times when I traded off going out with my family, when I traded off going to a party or going to a wedding, which was important, and studying all night if I was helping my mother in some household chores as well. So like a lot of things were like that, like this were there. But it's at the end of the day, it's all about how you think about going forward and how you want to achieve your goals. Matlab, whether it's about getting into the top colleges or whether it's about improving your own scores, it's like a part of the process, I would say.
I think if I would sum it up, it's more like I think you weren't like competitive or it wasn't very uh, like objective. I like that. That objective wasn't there, but you were very sure that yes, you want to give your best shot in terms of whatever you
Yeah,
could do.
exactly. Because I could honestly have given a very honest answer, a very straightforward answer to people, because I know that okay, these are the things that worked, these are the things that didn't work. But
Right.
I know that everybody have a very separate journey, everybody have a very unique journey, and a lot of people are clueless. Not everybody is very focused. People from class 10th, they make their goal that they want to become a doctor, so they
Right.
take medical, and then they go for MBBS, then MD, and all these kind of degrees that they take. But for me, it was always just trying to be the best, just putting myself out there so that I know that okay, what else is there in the world which I can, like, where I best fit in.
That's, yeah, I think I can totally relate to that. Being the best version, and I think in 11 and 12, we don't have so much of information, honestly, like even
Yeah,
right.
because you always feel it's like a lot of career options are here in the world today. You just you can never have enough information. It's always out about putting yourself out there, that you realize that okay, this is how it's going to be, and this is something you are interested in. Like for example, I'll tell you, like when I went into college, I realized that okay, this is something that I want to do. Like I joined entrepreneurship self, and I didn't join Inactis because I knew that okay, entrepreneurship style is more of my calling. Even though getting into an actress would have been a better choice, maybe from a CV point of view, I would say, but still I knew that some part of me was more inclined towards entrepreneurship, and that kind of worked for me, right? I mean, I'm right now doing something of my own, so everything all the dots just connect at the end of the day.
When we look backwards.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think I was while you were discussing, I was going through your profile. You've led some initiatives, so I wanted to understand your major experience and key takeaways from initiatives like Nanhi Kashtiyan. Any key takeaways that you would like to share?
Sure. Okay, so I would tell you about this journey. I was doing my internship in December 2020. And at that time, there was this guy in my office who was obviously very elder to me, and I was the only intern there because they didn't have internship opportunity. I just applied very, relentlessly via their emails and just requested them to, let me volunteer, let me just, intern there with no pay and anything. But I met him there, and I understood, and I realized, and with like conversation with him, I understood that he actually founded an NGO for kids, for teaching kids. And it was it's a very nice story about Nanhi Kashtiyan. Like, the founder itself was one of the kids who he now teaches. He was one of the kids from those slum areas who did not get education, but now he was working at, I would say, Jindal Stainless as at a very good position. So I mean, that entire journey of him, that how with limited resources he got from where he was to the position, to the point where he didn't have to think twice about spending, right? So that kind of connected with me. Then I joined his team, and then then COVID happened. So a lot of things that happened for that NGO was during that COVID time, when I realized that how important education can be in the lives of people. And then we launched a lot of lot of initiatives, like we introduced online teaching system at our centers. We we introduced computers, then a projector for teaching kids. We had a lot of not just teaching, like proper classroom education. We also wanted them to have a very holistic development, so we also organized various workshops for them. Then there was a initiative called Rasoi, which we started for COVID. So I think I can keep talking about it again. I can keep talking about it. Rasoi was started in COVID because we wanted to feed the needy people during that time, because obviously everything was here and there during COVID. And then during the first day, nobody had any idea how to do what, because
Right.
it was very new for everyone. So I think it was out of the situation that we started initiatives. I mean, right now, even if like I would talk about you here, like you started this initiative because you understood that there's a gap here, right? There's a need here. It came out of the situation because you might have met someone who is who is I think figuring out or who is struggling to figure out what to do
Even
after
I
class
have been
12.
in that
Or
situation.
yeah,
So
you have been in that situation, and sometimes, working with NGOs make you realize that how privileged you are, and how many things people are, deprived of in actual, and you just don't realize it sometimes. So it helps you stay grounded, and then, when you are on the ground, you can actually think about the difficulties which you can easily solve, right? I mean, you have the resources, but these children didn't have those. So I mean, a lot of initiatives came out of that as well. Plus, obviously, you are the youth, so you are more active technologically. And yeah, I mean, we knew how to set up the infrastructure for online classes, for organizing workshops, for talking to people across different states to organize sessions here as well via online channel. So yeah, that these are some of the initiatives
very
I took
need-based
during college.
initiatives, I would say.
Yeah, it was very need based, situation based. And again, it came out because I put myself out there. What if I always look back at the situation, if I wouldn't have talked to that person in, during my internship, and I wouldn't have talked to him about, how I really feel, connected to the cause that he's working for, I would never have joined this. I would never have made any initiative. I might not have created any impact in the society during COVID. So I mean, a lot of things are there.
Right, right. But
Hmm.
nice. So if somebody is, like coming out of school and is going to college, what would you, if you look back and reflect, what would you say one or two things that, should be the focus areas, or like should be like,
Okay.
because college is just not about career, it's about many things, the people that you
Yeah,
makes up our life. And it's like a
definitely.
development. So two, three major things that you like, okay, because you need to have a balance.
Okay.
You need to focus on
Yeah,
you have
definitely.
a life out there.
De- Definitely. I agree, honestly. So, when you are after you're done with your class 12th, you are
Mm.
majorly free. And trust me when I say it, that is the most free part of your life. Because after you join your college, and then after you join a job, maybe, or even after college, you decide to start something of your own, and you start to prepare for more competitive exams, for your higher education, you never
Mm.
get that much free time in your life. So that at that time, I would definitely suggest for some people to at least stick to one hobby that they like, be it, singing, dancing, playing some instrument, painting. I stuck to painting at that time,
Mm.
or cooking, or whatever. Just please pick some hobby that helps you to keep sane, because life is gonna get tough after this. So that keeps you sane, and you feel happy about it. So when you are happy, you can definitely just keep going forward with all the other difficulties. Second thing, I would say that, if you're still feeling that okay, hobby is nothing, it's not adding some value, like, something tangible to me, I would suggest do one course, be it, and any course that you do at this point in your life is not going to be wasted, because it's going to be new for you, be it about some Excel skill, be it about presentation, be it about negotiation. There are a lot of courses which are available on Coursera, Udemy, okay? And financial modeling is one course that I took. So that I think I would say that ठीक है, मतलब even though I don't apply those things in my life right now, but still that, at some point in my life I did, or I still feel that okay, that knowledge did add to my brain here. So I know some terms, I know some processes which is important for me, right? Helped me in college, which is something, and financial modeling was anyway related to my course, become honors, right? So ठीक है, मतलब one thing I would suggest this thing. And apart from that, I would say that also join something, some social venture, be it online or offline. A lot of options are there for you to look for people on LinkedIn, or look for organizations on LinkedIn, in Tanshala, or wherever you can, and reach out to them via their website and just volunteer. You never know that how these volunteering opportunities can actually turn into something really good and something very major in your life, like Nanhi Kashtiyan did for me. That was only like, I only joined it because I wanted to volunteer, wanted to teach kids, I wanted to stay close to them, I wanted to just do something for the society, wanted to give back to the society. And I never knew that I would become a program manager there, who would be leading everything, who would be managing everything, doing three four things at the same time, plus also getting a lot of love from the children there. So I think, you never know how these things which are free in the world right now can give so much back to you. So these are the three main things I would suggest everyone to do after class
Yeah,
12th.
that's quite nice. That's quite nice. Thank you. And if we come now to your corporate stint, so what majorly made you decide upon consulting versus any other? Like,
Okay, so for consulting, I would say it was majorly because of the diversity that it offers you. After you have done internship, now you get some idea at least about the corporate world, not whole, because obviously internship, mein na, you don't get a complete idea because you're not leading some project, you're not working on a project whole, and from top to bottom, but you get some idea about the structure of it, right? When you see it for the first time, when you go to office for the first time, you feel very intimidated, like everybody is so formidable there, and then you feel ki, okay, theek hai, this is something. Then you realize that okay, if you want to reside in such environment for a longer period of time or not. And so for me, I did an internship in HR. I realized I don't want to do this. I did an internship in finance. I realized I didn't want to do this. The only thing that was left for me was marketing, but I couldn't find any good internship for marketing. So, but I knew that okay, there were back in LSR, there were a lot of sessions which are being organized by our college alumni who've been placed in very good consulting firms. To name a few, McKinsey, Kepler, Boston, and not, I think not Boston. It's BCG, I would say. Yeah, it's Boston Consulting.
Boston
Yeah,
Consulting
sorry.
Group, right?
Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, a lot of people were placed there. They used to come back to the campus. They used to have sessions and tell us about a day in their lives, how it looks like. And then I realized that okay, I want my day to look like this. I want my day to be very complicated, right? I want my day to start from like a meeting, then having like a session with my seniors, then understanding the entire process of doing a market study and everything of that. So like I realized that okay, I want to, even if I don't know whether I would sustain in such environment for a long period of time, but I want to explore this. And getting into consulting is like a great, it provides you a great exit opportunity as well. So that was also one of the motivation for me to join management consulting and no other consulting firm, like audit or whatever it is. So I didn't want to do that because I knew that uske baad na exit opportunities mein I might face a little difficulty. And plus you get to work on a lot of projects in a very short span of time in different industries. So there's again diversity. It could be the case. So in my corporate journey, I've worked on like clients from industrial goods and service sector. I've worked with clients from tech and internet space as well, and it's completely different. If you see, one is quite traditional and one is quite tech savvy. So working with these two different kind of clients, you understand that okay, what is more of your calling, right? So I could again remove one part. Okay, I can remove industrial goods and services from my profile, that okay, I don't want to go back there. So again, that was one of them impetus for me to join management consulting, that I would have again diversity. I can put myself out there. It was always about having more options at your disposal, so you don't have to just stick to one and just follow that one path.
Yeah, you didn't want to restrict yourself at the beginning of your career. You wanted things to be open.
Exactly. And in the beginning, no, you can actually trade off with a lot of things. You can trade off with the money. You can trade off with your time as well, because you don't have a
Right.
family to feed. You don't have a family to go back to. Like you have, but like you don't really have to invest much. Exactly. So and I was anyway staying away from my family, so I was okay giving in like 10-12 hours a day on some days, and as long as it was coming back to me as a part of a learning process. So yeah, that's all for me. Just keep exploring, just keep doing as much as you can.
Nice. If you could describe in brief your recruitment process at your consulting firm, like how was it?
Yeah, sure. Sure. So usually in consulting firms, not just specific to Praxis, but in most of the consulting firms, the major processes involves your CV screening, take a CV shortlisting, then followed by a case study round. Not actually, two or three, depending upon the applicants and depending upon the companies. I had two case study rounds after my CV process. One was about a case study, proper case study. I can talk about that in detail as well if you want. And the second one was a guesstimate about market sizing and stuff. And post that, there was a interview round with the founder. It was a final HR round for me, and it didn't span a lot of longer time. Actually, it was actually for like 10-15 minutes, I would say. And then I think, yeah, then I got my offer.
Okay, that is
In
great.
oh, okay, sorry, I've missed one step. There was a aptitude test as well after my CV shortlisting.
Okay, so CV shortlisting, aptitude test. case study round and one
case study
HR.
rounds, and then one HR round. Yes,
Usually
and all
HR,
of these were eliminated.
yeah, HR rounds are the most basic ones. They are more like a background check, family check, from what I understand.
Yeah, and more like, your fit test actually, if you can fit in the corporate, in their company culture.
Okay. So, what were the major challenges that you faced during this recruitment process? If any of the major challenges that you thought that you faced, and how did you deal with them during that? Any of the basic consulting interview process?
Okay, I'll talk about it. So let's go step by step through all the process. Step one was CV shortlisting, and yes, making a CV and getting it shortlisted is a major task. You don't realize until you stop getting shortlisted, or until you're not getting shortlisted. You don't realize that how major part this is, and you don't know that how you can make it stand out. So yeah, I read a lot of CVs online. I read a lot of CVs of my friends itself. There are hundreds of changes that you can keep making in your CV, and you are still not satisfied with it. So yes, CV, that was a major, challenge that I faced with my CV. But the way I tackled it was, reaching out to more and more people, reaching out to my seniors and asking them that how can I improve my CV or according to their company. So because, it's all again about networking. I went to LinkedIn. I know that, okay, from Bain is coming to our campus. They'll be asking for our CV soon. So I reached out to people on Bain, from Bain on LinkedIn, and majorly my own seniors who were there. Asked them if they could spare like some time and go through my CV and at least just suggest me a few changes and how can I make it stand out from Bain's point of view. So they did that for me. And luckily I did get shortlisted. So yes, outcome came out of it. Then second step was aptitude. I won't say I faced any challenge with that. It's all about, preparation and stuff. You have tons of material online on YouTube and everywhere. So I didn't pay anything for it. I wasn't even preparing for CATs. Yes, I felt that I was a little at a step back as compared to my friends or like my apprentices who were preparing for CAT at that time. So they were very good at aptitude, which I was never, because that's not my forte. But I think you could sail through it with practice. Then third thing was this case study rounds. So case study rounds, usually, the first thing is that you are very scared to do a case study with like someone from the company itself, and they are giving you an actual real life case study. So you're always scared about saying something stupid or saying something dumb, right? But just take that out from your mind. Just know that your ideas matter, your opinion matters, and whatever your process is, it's not wrong, right? It's different, but it's not wrong. It's never wrong. Your answer could be different, but it's never wrong. So what matters most is the approach. So I faced challenge with the confidence part initially, when you don't know how to talk to the respondent, to the interviewer, or how to approach a case study, the process and everything. But I made extensive notes of, like, you have tons of materials online on case study books, case on point, case interview cracked, all of these uh, booklets you can find easily online. And I went through, devoured each of them. I won't lie, at that time, because I was so panicked at that time that I didn't know which one to follow, which one to not, what processes to read, like, to let out from the process, what books to not read, and what books to focus on. So I kept reading everything because I had tons of hours available to me. You were studying online, so you were anyway not attending classes in on ground, right? So you had a lot of time, you could save a lot of travel time anyway. So I devoured a lot of books, and I made extensive notes, whatever I could understand from each of the books and whatever new I could add to the process. And um yeah, that but I would say that was a mistake I did. A lot of my friends, they did just stick to one or two books, and they did cases from those books only. They practiced the entire structure from there, and they got one of, like, a few of them got the best offers as well. So I think it was always about structuring the process, and not about you know just mugging up something or something, and something and everything. So that was one challenge I faced. And in order to boost my confidence, I used to sit with my friend, like, always do that thing in case interviews. Just make a pair or make a group with your friends and do case studies with them, with one mocking up as a interviewer, and one mocking up as a interviewee, like you yourself in an actual case scenario. Just create that. Yeah, just create that environment for yourself, and that helps.
Right.
for
That's
case studies. And again, for HR round, no major challenge faced. It was a lot. I had a few set of questions that I prepared already. I created a Word document and prospective answers on how I could respond to them. And yeah, I think that kind of helped as well. Anyway, my interview process didn't take more than 15 minutes for me.
Yeah, HR rounds are a lot. What you are, you just give out. You just talk
Yeah,
about.
exactly. So you can't fake more. You can't fake in your HR round.
It's better to know.
It's all. Yeah, exactly.
So, you talked about few resources. Any specific resources that you would say are very really good to go to resources? Somebody's preparing for consulting interviews.
So I would say that Case Interview Cracked is a great book. You can easily find it online, and Case on Point, or Case in Point, something like that.
Case
So
on
these two
point, I
books are
think.
yeah, actually it's Case on Point. So these are the two great books that I referred to. And apart from that, there's a lot of consulting materials you can find from colleges, like IMA case booklet or IML case booklet, FMS case booklet. You'll get tons of case studies on that as well. So you can go through that as well. I mean, for practice, but for structure and everything, you should focus only on Case on Point or Case Interview Crack, whatever helps you.
A little more structured approach is better that way. Rather than a little more structured approach is better rather than
Yeah, exactly. Rather than going around and having everything. कि okay, ये भी कर लो, ये भी कर लो, ये book भी पढ़ लो. Like कुछ छूटना नहीं चाहिए. Just don't think about it. In the final interview process, I'll tell you, once you gain that confidence in yourself, now that okay, your process is correct or your process makes sense at least, or your process is not wrong. अगर तुम्हारे दिमाग में ना, like you have that mindset in your mind, you can easily solve any case. In the final interview case, I did not go through the entire process. Like like a very basic structure is that okay, revenue बढ़ा है तो okay, whether it's a part of your price, or whether it's a component of your quantity sold, right? P into Q is equal to R, right? So,
Right.
I mean, there's this standard formula, and everybody just keeps, whenever there's a case study like, okay, revenue is reducing, so what would you recommend to your client? So you go to your, like, okay, prices कैसे हैं, quantities कितनी है, किस region में है, क्या है, so always do it like that. But in the final interview process, where I actually bagged that offer, I did a process of my own, and that, like, interviewer was quite impressed with it. So I would say that it's always about understanding. You might fail a few interviews, and that's completely fine, but you will find your way.
That's really nice. I think I really love one fact that whatever questions I'm asking, you're giving again over here everything that each and every round, each and every angle or topic that you must have discussed, and you're putting it out so that whoever listens to this video conversation is actually trying to benefit. I think that's really impressive. I think
I hope so. Even if one person helps, I can help one person, I would be obliged.
no, but that's really impressive, Anshika. Thank you so much. I mean, I did not expect such comprehensive answers, especially on the corporate stint part. And even for someone like I am not very new, I'm not very into the consulting, but for me, it's also value additional that you're giving such detailed answers. I really appreciate it. And thank you so much for your time and all the best for whatever you're doing now. I think you are all filled with positivity and doing good in life and best out there. And thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. That's so nice of you to say, and I wish you all the best with this venture as well. I truly believe that you can really make a difference with this, and people are really going to benefit out of it. So this is definitely going to, this venture is definitely going to make wonders for people who are just graduating from their class 12th.
Thank you. Thank you so much.